Hi, I'm Pamela, and welcome to Greenstick Cottage, where I enjoy knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, and books, and other things whenever the cats allow me to. By my count, this is YarnTube number 8, and I'm going to start right in. I got a request to share a little about my crocheting journey, and that started when I was a little girl. My mother and her mother and her mother's mother, so 3 generations of women were around me when I was growing up, and they were all masters of the needle arts, and they always had handwork going. They were always making something pretty, and so by the time I was 4 years old, I was nagging them to show me how to do that. I want to make something like that. I want to do that. So so by the time I was 6, I think, I was doing knitting, crocheting, embroidery, sewing, patchwork, and little things like that, and under their supervision, and I've been doing it ever since, and that's a few decades later. That's where we're at now, and so I'm very thankful that I'm going to get emotional here, but I'm very thankful to these women in my life, because I have gotten so much joy from doing all of these things with my hands, and they really inspired me, and they were patient in teaching me, and it was a real blessing. So thank you for that question, and I'm glad I got to share about my grandmas and my mother. And my sister and my female cousin on that side are also very adept at all the needle arts, and I'm always wanting to aspire to do as well as they do. So now I'll launch into something happier, and I have a couple of males. I guess you would call them happy males. Back in March, I made a hyperbolic Mobius never-ending fidget toy for Miley, who is the granddaughter of Dana at Butterfly Crafts and Crochet. And I sent, for Miley's birthday, that fidget toy, and Miley wrote to me this thank you card, and it is so sweet, and there it is. And she enclosed a Care Bear sticker. Isn't that pretty? So I'm still trying to decide where the place of honor is going to be for my Care Bear sticker, because I love this kind of thing. And like I tell my grandchildren, Nana is just an antique little girl, because I love all the same things they do. And there was a Care Bear sticker on the back of the envelope too. So that was very sweet. Thank you, Miley. And I also made a hyperbolic Mobius never-ending fidget toy from my great niece, and she sent me this beautiful thank you note. She knows my taste. As you can see, my backpack here, which is my purse, it looks quite a bit like that, and so does the card. And both of these girls wrote the thank you. They're both 10 years old, and they wrote these beautiful, articulate thank you notes in their own hand, and I will treasure them. So thank you to both of you. Alrighty, and now I'm going to talk about finished objects, FOs, and unfortunately most of them I no longer have them to show, so I am going to have to show you pictures. I participated in the 100-day project, and I chose for that project a blanket that I started in 2014 for my youngest son, and I did not want to make him wait any longer, so I shipped it right off as soon as it was done. And I figured 9 years of waiting for his blanket was long enough. But this is what this was the final picture. Let's see if I can get it. So yeah, the colors aren't so great. If I can figure out how to do picture in picture, I will try to insert one over here. But that's a skill I'm not sure I can master quite yet. But that is the Desert Star crochet quilt or quilt gown, and that is a pattern by C.L. Halverson on Ravelry, available on Ravelry. Alright, and next I made a Poppet Octopus, which is by Emily Ann on Ravelry. It's a free pattern as well. And this was the final Poppet Octopus for my grandchildren. And this grandchild's birthday was this month, so again, I sent it right off to her. And her colors that she wanted was green and purple. So there's the green side. Again, I'll try to stick a picture up here. But in the meantime, if I'm not able to do that, and here's the reversed side, because the Poppet Octopus is a reversible fidget toy. And there's the purple side. So that was her Poppet Octopus. I believe it was number 16. So I've made 16 of those. And then I had a daughter's birthday in June, and as well, and guess what she likes. Hopefully you can tell. She is a very loyal Disney fan, and this is also a pattern by Emily Ann that is free on Ravelry, and it is called Mickey Key Pouch, but I added the red bow to make it Minnie instead of Mickey. And what it does is you pull on that top knobby thing, and that pulls your keys up into the pouch so they don't scratch anything in your purse. So she loved it. She got to open it at Disneyland because one of my other daughters brought it to her. And so she got to open it there, and I got to see her open it on film, on video. So that was very sweet. I was very happy about that. And another birthday in June was one of my sons-in-law, and I made him a hyperbolic Mobius never-ending fidget toy. And it is blue and black because he works in law enforcement. And he liked it. Just like I'm an adult, and I'm going to be making me one. I'll show you that later and when I get to the plans time. But that's what his fidget toy looked like. And so hopefully he's happily playing with it as we speak. Let's see. And then one more. Hyperbolic Mobius never-ending fidget toy. This is for my nephew. This one was for my nephew, and he graduated with his master's degree, so he gets to have one of these, so he can fidget with it when he's thinking the master degree level deep thoughts. That's what I told him. And his school's colors, his university's colors, are black and gold. So that's what he got. And so I think that's it for the ones that I had to show pictures of. And now I can actually show you something, live. So this, oh, by the way, that pattern, the Hyperbolic Mobius Never Ending Fidget Toy, is by Lisa Cole, and you can find a link to that pattern on Ravelry as well. I can't remember what her website is, but I'll try to include the link. So my daughter, her sister-in-law, one of my daughters, her sister-in-law is a fan of succulents, and her birthday's coming up next month. So my daughter got the yarn and asked me to make this for her. And what this is there's a tutorial by Brunaticality, I think is how you pronounce the channel name, but I'll include the link to the tutorial for this succulent. Now, it is a kind of a little surprise thing. It's not just a succulent, it's a set of coasters so they look like this. If I can get it to kind of flatten out now that it's been stuffed in there for a while. And so there are 4 that are like this, and to hold your teacup or your mug or whatever you're drinking with. And then there's a 5th one that's larger to set your teapot on. And then you just stack them, and then there's the cute little pot here. And then you just stack them all up. Let's see if I can do that in any kind of a timely fashion. And then you just, so once they're all stacked up, you stuff them into the pot and kind of fiddle around with them a little bit to try to get the best look of the succulent. So now she got 4 skeins of I Love This Cotton. So we had the brown for the centers, and this leaf border is sage, and the pot is bruschetta. Now, she couldn't decide between the sage and olive, so there was enough yarn that I just kept going. So then I made another succulent, which has gotten kind of crooked in here. I made this one just exactly the same, but with the olive, which I thought was kind of dark. But I told her I'll make 2 sets, and then you can mix and match them or give her both, whichever. And so there we are with the brown center and the olive leaf border in the same pot. Okay, there was still yarn left, so I kept going, and I thought, so this next one, let's see before I take it apart, it kind of looks like the first one, the original, but when you take it out, so the pot I got, I was able to do the whole pot, but I kind of had to mix a little bit. So I did a brown center, and I did the first round of the leaf border in the olive, and then the final round of the leaf border in sage. And I made the 4, smaller coasters that way. But by the time I got to the big one for the teapot, I had run out. I only got this far with the brown, and then I had to, do the olive green sooner. But it worked out all right. So there's a 3rd plant, if you will, or a 3rd coaster set. So I figured my daughter could, she could either give her sister-in-law all of these, or she could keep one for herself. There was still yarn left, however, and I was able to get a whole nother pot out of the bruschetta. So I got 4 pots out of the 1 skein of I Love This Cotton and bruschetta. However, I had to do a lot of Frankensteining on the coasters. So you'll see this. I'm just hoping she'll let me keep this one. She probably will. So I just used the olive for the center and sage for the outer on 1, 2, 3 coasters. But I didn't have any, I had very little, I didn't have enough sage to go around again. So then I just made an all olive coaster. And then when it came time for the larger coaster for the teapot, this was all I could do. I used every single scrap of yarn. So I started with what I had left of brown, then I went to bruschetta, and then the olive, and then that was how much sage green I had left. So I couldn't really do a leafy border. I just did a chain 3 slip stitch, around to end it off. And so I figured if nothing else, it could be a little dishcloth or something. But I just love the feel of this. I love this cotton yarn. So that's how I did it. I used I think I used a G for the coasters. A size G hook, which is, oh man, I'm terrible with the millimeters. 5.5 maybe? I don't know. Let me see. I do keep a card for every project, a 3x5 card. But I think I put this one in the fully finished, so I probably don't have it. So anyway, that was that. And for the pots, because I wanted them to be firm and stiff, I used an E hook. Don't know, 4.0 millimeters maybe. So those are all of my succulent FOs, and I love them. Brunaticality, her name's Bruna. She also has tutorials for something similar, coaster sets like this that are flowers. So I'm probably going to try those too, if I can, if I can fit it into the queue. So that's what's going on there. Let me see if I can stuff all these back. And so that was 4 FOs. And then the only other thing that I have finished since last time, see if I can lay my hands on it, is this orange beanie. And this is the basic half double crochet hat by Umbaka Designs, which is a free pattern on her blog. And I will be explaining more about this when I get to new starts. But there you go. And this was the teen size, which I thought was pretty big. So, it definitely fits on my head. So I would ordinarily make myself an adult medium, but with this one, definitely the teen size or adult small is better. So that's that one. So that's all my FOs. And next I'm going to show lips. And let's see. This one you've seen before. This is I'm still plugging away on my Spikes Around yarn bowl / basket, which I started doing for the monthly basket crochet along on Pamela's Adoring Crochet, and I chose this for my January basket. And here we are in June. I made it to fit the really large mandala, Lion Brand mandala cake. I should have brought one of those in here, but so I'm just going to kind of go by how tall that is to see how much higher I need to go on this. But I am using Red Heart Super Saver in white, and the beautiful blues here is red heart with love. I can't remember the colorway, but it's really pretty. So I thought this looked very nice and wintry. So I love that color combo and the way the spikes make it look like icicles. So that's why I chose that. This one doesn't get worked on, but once in a blue moon, I guess, when I go to my knitting group and I need something small to carry, because I just have it in this little Dollar Tree backpack. So it's very convenient to take with me. Alrighty, then we have, what other whips do I have? Let's see what my notes tell me, because I can't do it by memory, that's for sure. Oh, Lizzie, I can't forget about Lizzie. Yes. This was a crochet along that was done by Robin at Roaming with Rover. I think it's officially over now, but as is usual for me, I'm still working on it. And it has 5 parts for the 5 Bennett daughters from Pride and Prejudice. It was the Pride and Prejudice movie that inspired Anya at Ophelia Talks, the designer. That's what inspired her to design this Lizzie blanket. So the first part was Jane, and the second part was Elizabeth, and the third part was Mary. So I'm just going to try to show some of this. I have finished all the way through Mary, which is part 3, and I've done the first 5 rows of Kitty, which is part 4. So I think this was the beginning, so I think, yes, this is where I left off on Kitty here. So it's very big, but I love it, and it's very colorful with the pinks, purples, and blues. And I'm using an H hook, 5.5 maybe millimeters, I don't know. And I'm using an H hook and Big Twist Value yarns, 15 different colors for this blanket. So that's what I love about it, is so many colors. It's just gorgeous. I love colors, and the more the merrier. And so new starts now. I have let's go to the octopus hat. Again, I'm going to have to show the pattern, or at least what the octopus hat looks like on my tablet. Let's see. Let me try pulling that up. Now, this is for my grandson who loves octopuses and the color orange. So I started it with that yellow hat that I showed you, but he's turning 9 and I think this is too big for him. So here's what the octopus hat looks like. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. Let me get any view of it. There we go, kind of. You can kind of get an idea of it. And it is by Nunyo Business. That's the designer's Ravelry ID is Nunyo Business. Last name Business. And it incorporates what is it called? Basic half double crochet hat from Umbaka Designs. And so I'm now working on the size for a child 6 through 10. And so that's as far as I've gotten. And so that's the first step in this. She incorporates this other designer's hat design. And then there's another hat design, which is by Suzanne M. Barrow, and it's called Rosy Shells. And that is on, so that that's the back of the octopus head, is this other hat. You probably, I don't know, it's hard to tell. So anyway, it's a great design, and I hope I can do it justice. And so I'm going to be, so the two, the two parts of the head is going to be in the orange. And then I'll be doing the eyes. I'm using Walmart Mainstays 100% acrylic for this. The eyes are going to be yellow with black, slitted black pupils. And I'm going to do the outside of the tentacles in the orange and the inside of the tentacles in gray. So, and then I think what I'm going to do is border all the way around with brown. So we'll see how that turns out. But so far so good, and I love the Umbaka Designs basic half double crochet hat. It's a great, quick, easy to remember pattern if you're looking for any kind of beanie design. So that is one new start that I have. And then, oh yes, we have, I'm running out of room, Connie at Just Another Stitch she started a make-along to make a weight loss make-along, to make something in either in the size of your goal weight if you're trying to lose weight, which I'm still trying to do, or just in a smaller size than you are right now. And so I wanted to make this top, and I'm sorry, but I don't know the designer or anything. One of the ladies in my knitting group, she used to own the local yarn shop, but she retired and sold the shop, and now there is no local yarn shop in town, unfortunately. But she has all these older things and she'll give them to us, and so she had this pattern and copies of this pattern that she probably had for a class or something, and so I was one of the lucky recipients to get one on this day. So it's a tee, a knitted tee, and I don't even know the name of it. I looked all over Ravelry trying to find it, but the pattern instructions, what it says down here on the copy is it says cotton yak, so that's the yarn. So maybe the pattern came from that yarn manufacturer. I was able to find the yarn on Ravelry, but I could not find this particular pattern design. So anyway, I barely got it started, and I'm using the Mainstays 100% cotton in opaline green. I'm really loving this color, and because we live in the desert, so even a t-shirt has to be cotton for the summer. And so all I've gotten done so far is the bottom ribbing, so you can see that, and so I'm just making the measurements on the pattern. I kind of fell between measurements, so I'm making the smaller of the two, but I might switch it to the because there's only 4 sizes, and I was right between the 2 middle sizes in my measurements, so I might just choose the smallest one, because positive thinking, and I'm going to get to that size one day. It shouldn't be too much longer, let's hope. Anyway, and also I wanted to show off these, if I haven't shown these off before. This is, I got the, I think it was an anniversary set from Knit Picks, and it is purple. It looks kind of reddish, but it's purple. And it's a wooden set, and it's an interchangeable, and they are all different shades of purple. So this is the size 6, and if I could read the small, on there, I would know the millimeters, but it's US size 6 is what I'm using for this. And let's see if I can find nope, it does not say, but it's a great kit. It comes with all different sizes of cables, and the little keys to tighten them, and connectors and ends, so you can either make you can just make single needles if you want to, or how am I forgetting what it's called? Stitch, when you're holding stitches. Stitch holder, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I've been knitting for decades, and I can't even remember something that simple. And it also came with all these silver and gold stitch markers. So it was very nice. I got it for a birthday present for myself, and I'm loving using it. I have other Knit Picks needles, and I love all of them. So, but purple is my favorite color, so I had to have this, no matter if it broke the bank or not. And thank goodness my children gave me some cash gifts for my birthday, so I was able to get it. So that was very sweet. And so that's my weight loss make-along project. And and also I got this at Dollar Tree. It's a little notions pouch with unicorns, my favorite mythological animal. So so mentioning Connie's make-along and the weight loss, she started on the second Saturday of every month, she's doing a weigh-in with Connie, a live stream, and I'm the guest star on July 8th. So if you want to tune into that, I'll be talking about what got me started losing the 286 pounds I've lost so far. So we'll be talking about that, and it's a nice group where we're all supporting each other in our journey to lose weight. So be sure to check that out. And then my another new start. This is going on a long time, but it's been a long time since I've caught up with you all. So my next new start, I decided to use the leftover yarn from the Desert Star blanket, and let's see, which is burgundy. It's Red Heart Super Saver, burgundy, royal. You can see the yarn coming out of these. These are called Blossom Bag Yarn Savers. I used leftover yarn that I thought that I was gifted and didn't think I would use, and I made these, and they'll hold a full skein of Red Heart Super Saver. Tea Leaf and Aran, the beigey kind of off-white color. So I decided I've got these leftovers, so I'm making this caddy. It's a Walker caddy. It is from, I believe it's the December edition issue of Crochet World magazine, and it's for mobility walker. I still have to use a walker because my knees got torn up in an accident, got wrecked. so they're not very reliable. So I have to have something to make sure I don't fall. And so I'm making this walker caddy, but I think I was gonna just try doing it all in burgundy, and that's what I've started with here. I have this much done. I need to make it 28. I'm at 8 inches, tall right now. I need to make it 28 inches long, and it's about 16 inches wide. So anyway, it's all half double crochets. I'm using a G hook, and I can actually, so G is 4 millimeters. Maybe I'll remember that. So H must be 4.5. And what's I? 5? I don't know. I'm metrically challenged. So that's how far. So I think what I'm going to do is make the base of it in the burgundy. And I do have more burgundy if I run out here with the leftovers. And then I'm going to make the pockets, royal blue and tea leaf. And I think I'll do the little seams to create the littler pockets with Aran and edge it with Aran all the way around. So, and I got these, let's see if I can put things, I got these magnetic closures, magnetic snaps at Walmart. I've never used these before, but that's what I'm going to try to use for this project. So that's the Walker Caddy by Crochet World. And those Blossom Bag Yarn Savers, those are by Sherry L. Farley on Ravelry. Those are free patterns, and she has them in different sizes. So I'll try to leave links for all these things down below. And my other new start is a plastic canvas project. I love plastic canvas. It's needlepoint. It just happens to be on plastic canvas. So let me pull up the, let's see here. I have this on my Kindle. I have the pattern. And let me see. This comes from a book called Games. It's on Annie's website, or ePatterns Central, I think is where I got it, which I think is Annie Digital. But it's Games in Plastic Canvas. And I'm making the card box right there. And it looks like this. I have some special cards that are like anniversary cards, an anniversary set of cards. Let's see if I can pull those out. I think they're Bicycle is the brand. Yes. 130 years, celebrating 130 years of playing cards. So I have a blue set and a purple set. So I thought they deserved a nice little case, and so I cut out all my pieces, and I have finished the lid top. So that's as far as I've gotten. And but I have the bottom ready to go, and the sides, and and I'm keeping all of my little pieces so I don't lose track of them in this cute little zipper pouch. Got from Dollar Tree. So that's what's going on there. And I think that's all my new starts. I'm pretty sure, yes. So I did get to a library book sale. So I'm going to show some goodies from that. First I'll show you something. I'm going to have to move things around here and hopefully not lose anything. I got at Dollar Tree the other day something. I was looking for things for the grandkids, but guess what? Nana found something for her. So I got these puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, and here you can see them a little bit better. So this is yarn and needle and knitting needles, and this is granny squares. So my youngest daughter, she does a lot of jigsaw puzzles and does the glue thing, to make it a permanent picture. So I'll either give these to her to put together, because I have cats, so I can't leave anything like this laying around while I try to work on it here and there. So I'm not sure if I can find a safe space for it, but if either I'll finish it, and anyway, I'm not sure, but she'll instruct me what to do. So my ultimate goal is, as part of my craft room project, to get my craft room in a condition where I can use it and store things safely and stuff. I want to decorate it, and I thought this would be some good wall art eventually. So that's why I got those. And then at the library book sale, I scored. I really scored. So I have a whole stack. I'm leaving the cross stitch because I'm going to do a floss tube video. So I'll leave all those books, all the quilting and stitching stuff. But this is all the yarny stuff. So check this out. Now, you probably already know my favorite flower is my birth flower, which is the daffodil. Look at that. Oh man, I was so happy when I just grabbed that right up. And it's floral doilies, so it has other beautiful flower doilies in here. And so I'm really excited about that. Let's see if there's any. I think all the inside pictures are black and white, so not quite as impressive. But anyway, excited about that. Here's another vintage, and it's all bedspreads with crochet thread. And I think there's some of the pages are missing off the back, so I don't know, but just some really beautiful designs in here. So I love collecting that kind of thing. And I got a couple of Crochet World magazines with another beautiful doily on the front of this one. So this one is June 2012, so it's not that old. And this one, though, is older, and I'm not sure how tall this doll is, but I have a 14-inch doll I want to make clothes for, so I'm hoping I can either adapt it if it's not a 14-inch, but this is February 1990 Crochet World. So I love this kind of stuff. And this is September 1986, Women's Day, Granny Squares and Crafts. And this I remember I used to always get these whenever I saw them at the checkout stand, and this has all kinds of pretty blankets, and let's see if we can kind of scan through a little bit. I love the 80s vibe. So I'll be looking at that more closely. Now, this was one of my favorite. I was ecstatic when I found this. This one, let's see, what is the year? It doesn't say on the outside. I'm going to have to look. September, October 1979. And it is Women's Day Granny Squares. Check it out. This blanket I made when this magazine first came out. I made this blanket right away for my in-laws. So that was 1979. I made that blanket. And I have wanted to make me one ever since I first saw it on the newsstand. And now I have it again, because I don't know what happened to my original copy of this book. So now I have it again, and I can make it. And I'm so excited. So that was a real thrill. Do you remember these ads on the old magazines with the daisy on the loom? My mother used to make those. Yeah. Poppet, what is it called? I can't remember. Knitwit looms. That's great. And so this is filled with all kinds of granny type patterns. And so there's probably other things I'll want to make. Ooh, I like that log cabin. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. And some bedspreads with thread. So, but yeah, the star of the show is definitely that cover Afghan that I have always wanted to make again, because I love sampler Afghans with all different squares. I guess they don't, I'm not seeing an inside picture here. I guess they just have the instructions in the back, and you're supposed to look at the picture on the front. And this is a rug. Shaded rug. Anyway, gorgeous. Then I got 2 plastic canvas. So this one is just, what is it called? Country shapes. So it's just got all kinds of country decor. I like the cats up here on the chalkboard. I think that would be really cute in the kitchen. And there's little children and hearts and apples and birds and all kinds of neat things. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then this is a hardback book that is 160 pages long, so there's lots of stuff in here. Make it quick, plastic canvas. But I like the pansies on the front. And let's see if there's what other kinds of things there are. Well, there's a home sweet home. Let's see, I don't want to show the chart, but let's see if I can just show the relevant part. There we go. I like quilty, things in any kind of needlework. So, yeah. So that was my partial haul from the library book sale. And so my plans coming up. One of the things I want to do is make myself a hyperbolic Mobius never-ending fidget toy. I've made these, but I have never made one for myself. So I'm going to make it out of this Red Heart Super Saver. I have made a couple of these, I made one for Miley and one for my great niece, and in this color Melonberry, which I think is discontinued, but I love it, so I'm gonna make me one. And I've been wanting to make me a Poppet Octopus fidget toy, reversible fidget toy too. So I'm going to make mine with purple multi on one side and pink multi on the other. This is Mainstays. Is that what it's called? Yeah, pink multi and purple multi. And this is Mainstays 100% acrylic from Walmart. And so it's a good workhorse yarn for things like, amigurumi and things like that. So, and then I'll use black to do the eyes and the mouth. And so this always gets shuffled to the bottom of the plans, though, because I always have other things. So that I don't know when I'll get to those, but more immediate is after I finish the octopus hat for my grandson. For another grandson, I'm going to make him. So I think this upcoming year is going to be, for my grandchildren's birthdays, is going to be the year of the hats, because I've been looking at hats and finding ones that I think they'll like. And so for the next grandson birthday, I'm going to try my hand at this kid's fedora. I thought that was so cute. I think he would love it. So I'll try that next, and we'll see how I do. It's only a charted pattern, and crochet symbols. So anyway, it's a free pattern from Pierrot Yarns. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I think that's how you would pronounce it, Pierrot. And so that's next up in the hat department for the grandkids. And then there's going to be a new baby in the family in December. And we found out she's a girl. So I'm going to do this Sunny set, which there's a dress. Let's see, can we get it? There we go. There's a dress, and there's little bottoms, diaper cover, and there's a hat that matches. So that's got to get done before December. So those are my most immediate plans. I have other plans. I'll just kind of sketch those out real quickly. I have been collecting things to do. When I finish the card box on the plastic canvas, this is going to be my next plastic canvas project. Is these long stitch sachets, and I thought these were just great. Here's a picture of all of them. Let's see if I can turn it this way. I think there's 14 of them altogether. Or, I don't know. Anyway, you can kind of get an idea there. And you put dryer sheets in there to make it smell good. And with a house full of cats, this is something I want one of these like everywhere. So that's coming up in the plastic canvas track. Let's see if I could learn how to use my tablet better. I could come on now. Okay. And then if I get all that done, I am planning on these. These were from Annie's Attic, back in the 90s, I think. Maybe even 80s. Itsy bitsy babies, itty bitty babies, and their bassinets, and they're those little bassinet purses. And I've been wanting to make those ever since they first came out. I have a whole box full of those 4-inch baby dolls because I wanted to make these for my granddaughters who are now teenagers. So that never got done. But yes, I am determined to make some of those. Another thing I've been wanting to do since the 90s from Annie's Attic, I used to subscribe to all the magazines from Annie's Attic, is the Antebellum collection. She started the bed doll collections and then started using Barbie dolls. And I recently acquired all 13 of the Antebellum collection from Annie's Attic from 1991, and this is Miss January, so I'll be starting with January. I have all the thread, I have the Barbies, and I will be making all 12 months and the bridal gown for that year. And if I ever get all those done, I'll go on to the next collection, which is called the Cotillion collection, and I'll start collecting those. So that is an ultimate goal to do those. And I also have I also got a baby doll, a life-size baby doll, because I wanted a model to try things on to make sure I was getting sizing right for baby clothes as I make them. But anyway, I left her in the craft room in progress, and but I want to make, I don't think I downloaded that pattern onto this tablet though, but I want to make a Moses basket for that doll. And there's several patterns that I've been looking at, and some of them use t-shirt yarn, so I have things to make t-shirt yarn out of, and so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, there's just so much going on, but it's almost an hour. I better just be quiet now. Anyway, hopefully I'll be back sooner than later. And thank you for watching, and happy yarny crafts.